Welcome back to Slushie Review. This is Keith.
And this is Chris.
And today we are reviewing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Brand new movie, so spoiler alert.
In effect.
Mass Effect. Yeah, that's all I got. Today we went to the big yope in the sky. 9/11.
We died? 9/11. Yes. Here it comes.
I don't want to say it. We got some slushies. I got blue raspberry and cherry. And I'm assuming, I'm going to guess, that young Chris stuck with the old faithful.
Oh, you know me, baby. Little cherry Coke.
Cherry
Never
Coke.
hurt me.
Ain't never hurt nobody.
Not today.
Not never.
Not
Since, in our New York accent.
He was the best guy around. Of all the people he murdered. What murders?
Hey, I'm walking over here.
Oh, hey.
Hey, old bacon, egg, and cheese.
Big by God.
That was the best part.
That shit was hilarious.
That was so funny. Okay, they might not like you. Bacon, egg, and cheese. He started doing a robot.
He was doing the robot.
Anyway, we will get to that. Tell you what we liked about the movie. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. After this movie, after this episode, I will be dropping the other Turtles movies.
Hey, there we go.
Eventually. Eventually. I got one more. I don't be feeling like doing it, but I got one more December/May murder mystery movie to do.
Yeah.
It's July. It's August, actually.
Big one.
Forgot. I don't know what month it is.
Forget about it.
August. A murder mystery. Alliteration, baby.
It's murder mystery year.
Well, shit, yeah, basically.
As long as you get it up by December. Unless we don't, then it's just whenever it ends.
I mean, a year can be any year.
That's right.
I didn't say 2023 year.
Don't believe it.
Every year.
When's your birthday? 22nd of February. What year? Every year.
There it is. There it is. So, you know what's funny? Speaking of 9/11.
Go on. My interest is piqued.
Okay, Oppenheimer.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they're in Japan. They were making memes about 9/11.
Yes.
And I was like, that's hilarious.
Yes.
Because some people are going to just laugh.
Yes.
Like me.
Yeah, because that's how they were comparing it, and people were mad. They're like, it's making glorifying the Oppenheimer movie is like would be like if we made a 9/11 movie. Honestly, I wouldn't watch that either because I didn't fucking care to see Oppenheimer.
Well, I wouldn't watch it.
Make it a comedy,
Make it a comedy. Both of them. And I'd watch them.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody has to be on the atomic bomb riding it.
Who's gonna play the tower?
Super Shredder. Obviously.
Ooh, Kevin Nash.
Obviously. The other one's Undertaker. Obviously. Or either Kurgan. Love it.
The man gets work.
I mean, listen. Put him as one of the other towers?
Yeah.
Come on, he's like 7'4".
Yeah. Who's gonna be the plane?
Mankind. Throw him off anything. He'll die. Or either Al Snow. He'll dive head first.
Al Snow.
Who does a kamikaze move? Somebody does a kamikaze move.
Everybody does them nowadays. Everybody dives on everybody nowadays.
Which is fine. I'm cool with that.
I'll watch it.
I'm talking about back in the day, though. I feel like
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. But I mean, that's why he's halfway dead now.
Yeah, that's why he's fucked up now.
Yeah. I'm not even talking about his alcohol addiction or whatever
Yeah.
he got going on. Just walking around money. You know what I mean? It's just walking around. I mean, he can barely walk. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
So my last question is, who's going to play Osama? Because I got someone in mind.
I do too. There's gonna be another wrestler.
Oh, it's not okay.
Very problematic.
Uh-oh.
I'm not gonna say it, but another wrestler. Vince would tee him up perfectly. Somebody in the 80s.
Oh, did they just recently pass?
I think so.
Famously, they were the best thing on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Either him or any of the other racially insensitive,
Yeah.
stereotypical, or either Triple H and blackface. Either way,
Again?
again.
A bold move. Let's see if it's a bold strategy, Kyle. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Let me tell you what, that movie, we should do that movie. by the way.
Dodgeball?
Dodgeball is
Yeah.
a great movie. Dodgeball is a great movie. The Pirate,
Hilarious.
he's great. Fan favorite.
Yes. Alan Tudyk as the pirate is hilarious.
Let me tell you what, Jason Bateman in that movie, understated.
Didn't need to be in it,
He didn't,
but he was great.
He is hilarious.
Yes.
He can also play very serious.
Yes. He's a good actor.
Too. I mean, yeah.
Acting. He's got something.
The Lutz.
We're like two actors in the same family. We're like the Lunts. God.
No, he is in that movie. He was, first off,
He was an idiot.
I thought he was like 18. First, I couldn't tell you. He's like he's pushing 60 right now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
He's getting up there.
Which means that in Dodgeball, he was definitely 30.
At least he's probably like 40.
Yeah, actually,
Maybe,
now that you say that. Which also means that he looked young as shit. He has spiky hair.
Yeah.
Like, he was, I loved it.
Because in Arrested Development, he had to have been like early 30s, late 20s.
Fair.
Had to have been.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's great.
I loved it. And he also in like, what's that dating movie with Vince Vaughn? The Breakup. He was in that movie.
Didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a funny movie. Him and Jennifer Aniston. It's a good movie. Vince Vaughn being Vince Vaughn.
He doesn't think he can love, but then he does.
No, he just plays a shitty boyfriend.
Oh,
like
okay.
he's shitty. I mean, he's terrible. Like he comes home from work. They're about to throw a dinner party. She's like, "Hey, do you mind taking a shower?" Or she's like, "Hey, can you give me 12 something?" And from the store on your way home from work, he's like, "Yeah, sure." He brings one. He goes, "What am I supposed to do with this?" He's like, "You asked for that." He's like, "Ask for 12. What's the difference?" Like literally that. And then
So this isn't his movie where like he turns around and like becomes a better person.
they do not get back together.
Nice.
Yeah, not at the end they don't.
Good.
He does become a better person, but they
Okay.
don't get back together.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, basically.
Nice.
Which also caught a lot of heat on Twitter this week. Mrs. Doubtfire did.
What did Mrs. Doubtfire suddenly do?
Nothing. People are just like, growing up, now that I'm grown up, I understand that movie, Robin Williams, was trash. And I was like
Like that he was the problem?
yes.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, she's like, I never understood. She's like, I love this movie as a kid. This one girl said this. I love this movie as a kid. I never understood why my mom hated this movie because this was basically my dad.
Their dad dressed up as an old British lady, as an old Irish lady, and cleaned their house and
yes.
ordered
Serve
takeout,
bangers in the mouth.
ordered DoorDash, and set themselves on fire. And
Yes.
played shovel guitar in the living room, or
Yep.
broom guitar, or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
That sounds
I was
great.
like, and she was like, she hated them. She's like, I used to watch it almost every day. Every time I put it on, my mom would just be like, ugh.
I
was
love
like-
that movie.
That was a great movie.
And it's 100% true that I didn't realize until I got older. I was like, of
course not.
He's the bad guy. Because growing up, you're like, oh, Sally Field, that old stick in the mud, that
Right.
old bitch. She ain't.
Yeah.
Thinks she's so great. He's
Right.
hilarious. Who wouldn't get tired of that every day?
Right.
That's not getting
Well.
old. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Even as an adult man, I'm like, this is too much.
And then
You had a full-on zoo in my house.
Yeah, you come home like, careful, Miranda, that pony had a lot of water.
Listen,
And goats eating your flowers, and
18-year-old kid that came from my loins that I'd be like, this is too much. Let alone farm animals in my house.
Yeah.
Oh, I get pissed. He get kicked out. I love you, Rob Williams, but guess what? Get the fuck out of here.
and he had just lost his job.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Yeah,
he was a terrible.
Yeah, it took me being grown up to realize like he was the problem, and that the real villain in the movie is kind of him, kind of Pierce Brosnan, but not really Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah, he didn't really do much.
Because Sally Field kind of let him on a little bit. Like maybe not let him on. She had him around a lot. She kind of put out the vibe that like she wanted to move on, and Pierce Brosnan was like, "Bet, let's move on." And then Robin Williams was like, "Fucking moving on. I'm gonna steal the fucking hood ornament off your car, you rich piece of shit."
I mean, literally,
I'm gonna hit you with a lime. I'm gonna poison you by accident with pepper.
This was literally baby mama drama.
Yeah,
And
I loved it.
Same. Again, as long as it doesn't involve me, I love drama.
Yeah,
drama is what's for dinner for me. You know what I'm saying?
it's what's for dinner.
So I love it, but also, yeah, he didn't do anything. This is just like you moving on from your baby mama to somebody else, and then your baby daddy having a problem with your new boyfriend.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with you.
Yeah, but he learns it. He figures out throughout his masqueradings as the old lady that like, oh, maybe I was a piece of shit. Because like you see it like as they're sitting down and she's telling Sally Field's telling her marital woes to him, and he's like, oh yeah, my husband was a brute, my husband was a bum, and she's like, yeah, oh yeah, Daniel wasn't the worst, but he certainly, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, I like that we had a lot of good times, but then the good times turned into bad times. Then he just kind of realizes like, yeah, I was wrong. And then at the end of the movie, he's like, people don't always get back together. It doesn't mean they don't love their kids, though.
It's fair.
And that part makes me cry as an adult. Like I get a little. Someone starts cutting onions every time it gets to that scene in the movie where he's telling the monkey puppet about the facts of life, about divorce, and I'm like, my parents stayed together. But this is. Like my parents never broke up.
I don't know anything about this.
Yeah, I was like, I never had this problem, but this is sad.
It's called empathy, Chris.
It's just sad.
It's called empathy.
It's just sad.
And it's a good feeling because, some people lack it. So it's okay.
It's not even a party. It's just sad.
If I was depressed, would I be able to make this?
Oh my God, I need to get a job. No, you don't understand. I have emails to Leslie comparing this to Avatar. Love it.
Shit. Okay. I guess we should talk about the turtles.
Yeah, I guess.
Because that's better than what we're talking about.
Can we talk about the turtles, Keith? I'm dying to talk about the turtles. You wouldn't know it because I've been talking about anything else.
Where are the turtles?
Where are the chocolate-covered turtles? What?
Chocolate-covered turtles.
And the mustard pretzels? We ate them, I guess.
Oh, it's okay. We're just wet. We're going to sit on your little nice leather couches.
Let's wait for our car to get here. Yeah, I'm going to rewatch The Office. Where are the turtles?
How do you go from 100% sure you're going to watch The Office to more?
I did.
Because that just happened.
You just saw
that
it.
just happened.
You just saw
Did
it.
we just become best friends?
Yup.
All right, guys. We'll be right back with the rest of the show. Bye. Well, we'll be back. Bye. Thank you for listening. We definitely appreciate it. Make sure you follow us at Slushie Review on Twitter at Slushie Review. You can also check us out on YouTube. Just search Slushie Review. We pop up. We're the first result. And then check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And also, coming soon, Instagram. Follow us on IG.
The gram.
at Slushie Review Podcast.
Yes.
We just started it. Need some followers. Need some likes. Welcome back to Potpourri Podcast. No, it's Slushie Review.
Where you get a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Except for what we're doing the episode about.
Except for anchovies. No anchovies. Because Michelangelo doesn't like anchovies, right?
In the first one, at least. Yeah, it's like no anchovies.
No anchovies.
If you put anchovies on this thing, you're in big trouble. And then Master Splinter hits him with a book.
It's fair. Do you like anchovies?
Well, I've never eaten one on its own. I have had it in like Caesar dressing, which I think is delicious.
Yeah, but
on its own, I don't think I've had one.
Yeah, but no one knows.
Yeah.
When I found out it was in Caesar dressing, 'cause at the restaurant I worked at, we made everything from scratch.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, grab the anchovies. I'm like, we're making Caesar dressing. Why do I need to grab fish?
Yeah, because it's like what, anchovies, like egg yolks.
You can't make it with egg
other
yolks.
stuff.
We didn't make it with egg yolks.
No? Oh, okay.
No, yeah, we skipped that part because our GM was. It was in our recipe to make it with egg yolks, but our GM was like, "Yeah, let's not risk it." And I was like, "That's fair." Just because, like, you don't cook them or whatever. So he was like, "Eh." He was like, "I don't want to get that, give people a chance." And I was like, "Fair."
You don't want to give peace a chance.
Yeah, because people will be like, "Hey, I'm allergic," or "I had this," and blah blah, or whatever people could.
Then you shouldn't have ordered it.
But that's not going to stop people.
I have gluten intolerance. I need gluten-free pasta, but also where are those fucking breadsticks at? Those people.
Those aren't gluten. Nah, that's okay. Then.
I know what I said.
Literally, I had that say that.
And Alfredo. I want the Alfredo too. That is also not gluten-free.
Let's not talk about this, Chris. Bad memories. This is a good day today.
And croutons.
But yeah, no anchovies.
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get on with.
I would try one. Why not?
You would?
I would.
Have you seen them?
Yes.
You've seen them?
Yes.
Like looked at them?
Yes.
Like in person?
I would try it on a pizza. Let me put it that way. I wouldn't want to just grab one and eat it. If it was on a pizza with other things, I would try it.
What other things?
Cheese. Maybe like onions, a little bacon or something maybe.
Have you seen an anchovy though?
Yeah. Yeah, they look like little brown.
I know you're saying
things.
But have you seen it?
Yeah. Yeah. I can close my eyes and eat something, Keith.
She said.
I was gonna. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it because I love my wife, and it might sound like an insult, and I would never mean it that way.
I didn't think about it that way, but that's funny. But you have seen them though.
Yeah. Also, they could hide under something on the pizza. If it's about like the visual aspect, just put them under the cheese or something. But I'd try it. I'm not saying I'm going to go out of my way to try it.
Right here on the podcast, I had an anchovy. No, I'm just kidding.
It's about to turn into an episode of Maury. I'm about to run backstage. You're going to have to chase me with the microphones and the cameras. Come back. No.
Let's do it.
We didn't know people do this.
Here on the floor, sprawled out.
It happens every fucking
like
episode.
Maury, I got a cup of feel. It's okay, girl. It's okay.
It's all right. Do you want to eat it, though?
Oh, girl. I did that to
Dwight Phyllis.
I did that to Lydia the other day.
Whoa.
I was like, whoa, girl. She was like, I'm not a fucking horse. I was like, do you want a carrot?
Did you have like a sugar cube in your hand? God.
I was like, do you want a carrot? She was like, fuck off. I was like, I didn't even have a carrot.
I mean, yes, but
I didn't even have a carrot.
why would you?
I don't know. Okay, let's get to the cast of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Let's do it.
Mutant Mayhem.
With Keith.
Spoiler alerts. With me. Let's see. First up, Donatello. Mika, Abby. And also, all the voices of the Turtles, I don't know any of these people.
Same.
All kids.
Because they're children.
Same. I mean, not that I don't know children, but same.
Right.
Let's see. Michelangelo, Shaman Brown Jr., Leonardo, Nicholas Cantu, and Raphael, Brady Noon, and let's see. Okay, April O'Neil is Ayo Itabiri. I love her. She's in The Bear.
Yes.
Have you seen The Bear?
Yes, I've seen the first season of it.
Oh, you haven't watched
I
the second one?
watched the second one yet.
We're on like the 6th or 7th episode of the second one.
I need to watch it.
Let me tell you what, the first one was so trauma-inducing for me.
That first season gave me a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
And
just being in the kitchen.
Yeah, because even though I've never really worked in a kitchen like that, where literally all they did was like scream at each other. I've worked in several kitchens where people like had the exchanges here and there, but never like a whole day of like, fuck you, you're a fucking piece of shit. And like people actually like wrestling on the floor with each other, or the one who got stabbed, which I thought was hilarious.
That was funny.
And she stabbed him.
He deserved it.
He's a dick.
I hate him.
But yeah, that first season gave me a lot of anxiety and stress. But
and
I do want to watch the second one.
This isn't really a spoiler alert, but in the second season, I'm not going to tell you who, but in the second season, they show, because he has a daughter, Richie, I think his name, they call him Cousin, the guy who got stabbed. They show his daughter's mom in the second season. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
As I've seen that they have a lot of guest stars, because I know Joel McHale Joel McHale was in the first season as like the head chef, as like the chef dude that he trained under.
Oh.
But I've seen that he's
so I didn't see the first like 2 episodes, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
they did like a flashback scene where he was like back in like a fancy kitchen wearing a white jacket and everything, and Joel McHale was like standing over him like criticizing what he was doing. But I know Bob Odenkirk is in it.
Yeah,
he's like their dad or something.
I don't understand. No, he's like his uncle or something. I don't know. He's weird though.
I want to watch that.
That was the episode we just watched, and that's also it's a flashback. It's their mom, the Bob Odenkirk, and they show Richie, the cousin's girlfriend, on that same episode. So it's like Thanksgiving or something. So they're all in the house together. Literally, I was like, oh my god. There were so many people. I was like, oh, who? I was like, okay, wow. And also there was another woman in it too. Like I'm not gonna give it away, but I guess it really doesn't matter. But I won't tell you. Okay. But there's another guest star too, and she was just there, and I was like, wait. I was like, isn't that? She was like, yeah, that's her. I was like, and she had like 2 speaking lines, but she was just there. Like I was like, what is this show? But it's not as trauma inducing as the first season. Like there's less. So I was like, okay, because every time she's like, let's watch The Bear, and I'm like, girl.
Yeah, because there were definitely times in that season I was like, everyone's just fighting every episode, and it's like stressing me out a little bit.
I've been in that situation.
I
That's why
I don't watch TV to get stressed out.
I literally was like shaking. She was like, hey, and I was like, what? She was like, you okay? I said, no. She was like, is it the show? I said, yes. She was like, are you really getting anxiety from this? I was like, yes, I am.
Is it the second to last episode or the last episode of the season where like they leave the printer on overnight?
She turns on like DoorDash or something.
And they get like 800 tickets before they even open.
Yes.
And everyone just yells and fights the whole episode. I was like, I don't like the way this is making me feel.
Yep. She turned on like DoorDash or something, or the online order.
They left on the online order printer all night, and then it just like... Yeah, I didn't like that.
And then the dude, that's why I think that was the episode that the cousin got stabbed.
Yeah, because
he didn't say being a bitch.
He was being a dick, and then like either he turned around or she walked in him, because then he was like, "You didn't say corner. You didn't say corner." He
was like yelling at her, and then he threatened her, and she grabbed her knife, and then he was like, "You better blah blah," and she was like holding her ground, but she had the knife, and then he did something else and like backed into her, or like turned around.
Yeah, because like he got stuck in the back.
Yeah,
because like he either backed into it or like she got pushed or something into
like
him.
That.
It was like complete accident.
It was an accident.
He was like, "You didn't fucking say corner," and she's like, "You didn't say corner." Like this is.
Yeah,
I'm trying to go to bed after this. I'm getting anxious.
As somebody who's been through all that and been in a kitchen like that, we weren't cussing and stuff because it was an open kitchen. But I was like, oh. I'm back 6 years ago. This is terrible.
But she was also in Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes, she was.
Nice.
All right. Anywho, we also have Maya Rudolph as Cynthia Autrum. We have John Cena as Rocksteady. I didn't see him in the movie.
Nah.
We have Seth Rogen as Bebop. We also have Rose Byrne as Leatherhead. Natasha DiMatrio as Wingnut. Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman. He had the Darksaber. We also have Jackie Chan as Splinter. Ice Cube as Superfly. Paul Rudd as Mondo Gecko. Introducing. We also have Post Malone as Ray Fillet. Oh, was that the guy that was singing the whole time?
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's why I didn't know who he was. He was funny. Now I don't like him as much.
He wasn't bad.
Now I'm upset. Anywho, Hannibal Buress as Genghis Frog. I'm skipping him. John Capodice as Aguado, the cab driver.
God.
I saw this name in the credits, and I really wanted to talk about him. David Faustino as Normal Nate.
It's Bud Bundy.
With Bud Bundy.
Yeah.
Look at Bud.
Getting work. Good for him.
Right, yeah, good for him. That Rachel Wong lady, I feel like she is somebody. I don't know who she is, but she played a news anchor. But I don't know her. So, either who. Next up, we have Kevin Eastman as Good Human. And Alec Hirsch as Scumbug. And that's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Plot it up.
Here it comes.
Young Chris.
Okay. Plot. "15 years ago, Baxter Stockman drops a canister of green ooze down a drain after performing experiments on animals that he intends to mutate because he feels like he never had a family. So, drops the thing down the drain. He gets raided by the government, or not even the government. He gets raided by Cynthia Utrom, and her goons raid his thing. Drops the ooze down the drain into the sewers. Boom. Turtles and Splinter. Easy peasy. 15 years later, present day of the movie, the boys are 15 years old, anxious to go out and see the world, want to be part of the human world for some reason. And they go grocery shopping by stealing everything, and they sneak out to go to movie nights and go to concerts and games and shit, and they just want to be part of the human world, the surface world. Master Splinter hates humans because he thinks they hate him because they openly expressed that they did 15 years ago, and has decided that the only way for them to be safe is for them to be ninjas, to study ninjutsu and become invisible and learn how to defend themselves. So the boys get a hankering to be in the world upside. They, on one of their nights out, happen across young April O'Neil getting attacked by they accidentally kill her. Accidentally almost kill her, sorry. They don't actually kill her, and that's the movie. No, they accidentally almost kill her.
I was like, what?
And then as they're explaining themselves, some dude steals her scooter. Things happen. They fall in. She falls in with them. Decides hey, if I didn't think you were good people, if I didn't think you were trying to help me, I would have been afraid of you. So the crux of the movie going forward is, if it worked for me, it should work for the rest of humanity. Let's just show them that you're cool. So they decide to stop the crime wave that is happening in the city that is being perpetrated by one of Baxter Stockman's old experiments. That is the plot of Mutant Mayhem. They did not accidentally kill April O'Neil. That was a misdirection. That is the plot. That is the plot. Having done the cast and the plot, I feel like it is time for some likes.
Yes.
Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay.
I concur. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
First, like Turtles.
Yup.
I mean, that's a given, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's on my list. It's the first thing I wrote.
And it makes me happy every time I look at it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best part of my days looking at it.
So, yeah, no, I literally was just like Turtles. I was like, you know what? I need to write the Turtles now because sometimes, I'll be honest, when we do these movies, like a lot of other movies we've done, I'm always like, I always forget to write down the main character sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, it's a given. Sometimes. Not all the times. Like, I purposely didn't write it down in, like, the first 3 Spider-Man. I was like, no. But, like...
Those movies are definitely the ones I thought of. Or anything with Batman that wasn't Ben Affleck.
Also saying... For sure. Have we watched anything with Batman?
No, but we talk about it.
Well, the Batman, I did write down Robert
That's fair.
Pattinson, or whatever his name is. I definitely wrote him down because he was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Turtles, I mean, I've grown up with them. I didn't read the comic books, but I watched the TV show. I had some action figures. I used to draw them. I mean, they're Turtles. You can't really go wrong. I've seen the movies. I've seen the cartoons. Not everything. How can you not love them?
Same. 100%. First thing I wrote also was the Turtles. They're great. And this is the first time that I'm aware of that they're voiced by actual teenagers.
Fair.
And at least, like, half of them... Well, actually, no. That's not true. In the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, I think 1 or 2 of them might have been younger. I was going to say in this one that they're, like, voiced by actors of color. It's for, like, a first time. But, like, I think in the Rise one, like, Donnie and Leo were... Jean Ralphio and somebody else, and the other 2, I think Mikey and Raph were voiced by black voice actors. And I think that's awesome.
Same.
Because I think up until like recently, it's only been like white people or like old white dudes doing a lot of the voice acting.
Right.
And that's definitely not the only demographic that they're trying to reach, for one.
Right.
It's also not the only type of actors that are out there.
Same.
And I think it goes a long way toward reaching people. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it also goes a long way into, like, the culture of the youth. You know
yes.
what I mean? Like, to be fair, and this isn't me saying anything, whatever. I hope it's not. But to be honest, especially a lot of young black kids, but a lot of black people kind of lead the culture, especially popular culture.
Yeah. So
it's not... To me, it's not unfathomable.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, we should probably, you know.
Yeah, because a lot of, I know you've pointed out, and I've noticed things that a lot of youth culture and like other aspects of popular culture, like they kind of rip shit and steal shit from black culture.
100%.
And if they're not just like adapting it, then they're just outright stealing it.
Yeah, blatantly.
Yeah, so like, yeah, it makes a lot of sense to have like some actual people in different demographics and in the age group that you're trying to reach, play the characters instead of, because you know who's more in touch than anybody with the youth of today is old white dudes. So
same. I
think myself especially.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm all about the rap music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
is this not rap?
Is this not rap? Are you listening to turkey calls right now? Is this not rap? But no, I think it's great.
Yeah.
And I know it's made a lot of people angry that, especially April, was a black actress, and I thought that was ridiculous.
We'll get to that,
and we will get there because I know we talked about that in earlier episodes of the podcast.
We did.
Oh yeah,
we probably
100% we did.
But we're
gonna talk about it some more.
Well, I'm gonna talk about it.
Let's do it. But that's I agree. First, like the Turtles, everything about it in general in this movie, especially.
Okay. You're like
okay. I know you said we're gonna get there, so I'm not gonna get there yet.
Oh, we can get there now. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
My next thing I wrote, because I was just watching a lot of the movie. Next thing I wrote was the garage fight.
The garage fight.
When they went to get her scooter back.
Oh yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
To be fair, I didn't write any of the fights down, but all the fights were great.
Yes.
They were actually really good.
I loved it. And so like, what do we do? We've never been in a fight before. There's like 20 dudes in here. What are you gonna do? We're just sitting here talking about it.
And they were tripping all over themselves at first.
They were throwing shit and hitting each other in the head. Leo's like, you guys got to stop throwing stuff at me. Raph is like all keyed. He's the only one that like wants to fight. And like,
you're right. He was keyed up.
Yeah, he's like, I dream about fighting every night. And he's like, you got a rage problem. It's not a problem. I thought that was great. I remember seeing that in the trailer. It's like this. I don't even know what's gonna happen. And the first dude comes at him, he like fucking body slams it and then spits on him. And I thought that was hilarious. He just fucking drops it. I was like, oh, this is going to be great.
It was good.
Donnie gets a sigh in his leg, and I was like, Ace Ventura 2. I was like, it's in the bone. That was hilarious.
I think it was Leonardo almost threw up. He was like,
yeah, he's like, oh, I'm going to throw up.
It was great.
Mikey's like, we should talk this out. He's like, you don't have the charisma for that. It's like, no, I gotta do those. Like, you do not have the people skills for that. The lead up to the fight was great. Then once it happened, everyone was getting jump kicked and doing flips, and there was a car doing Tokyo drifting around him. And Raphael like,
was it sad?
Yeah, he like
Tokyo drifting
threw
around.
3 dudes in a car, like slammed the door on his head. Donnie like scootered that little fucking rolly thing, and that dude busted his head on the fender. Great. They were just killing him.
And then at the end, April comes in. She's like, "Oh, y'all got whooped."
Yeah, it's like I can see. It was like, I'm a non-combatant entering the area. Just want to get my scooter back. Oh,
y'all got beat up in here.
Beat up in here. Amazing. I thought that scene was great.
It was great.
But yeah, that's my next like.
I guess these two go hand in hand, but actually, you know what? Going off that, I'm gonna say my next like, Go Ninja Go.
Yes, because that was in that scene.
That was in that scene.
Yes, when they threw that dude in the car.
And it was, and you know what's funny? That did get spoiled for me.
Oh,
but
it did?
I forgot about it.
Oh,
you know,
I mean, it's a minor thing.
It's great.
It did not get spoiled for me. I think you heard me when it happened.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I knew it was happening because something came across the timeline of Vanilla Ice across my timeline. Because in 2023, why?
Yeah, what else is he
Why
going to
would
be?
I need that across my timeline? No, it literally was
What else
like,
would you hear Vanilla Ice's name about other than a new Ninja Turtles property?
like I said, the past 2 weeks, I said this to Chris after we got the movie. I was like, the past 2 weeks, they have been marketing the shit
Yes, they
out of
have.
the Turtles, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
But it literally got spoiled for me. It was like Vanilla Ice, and then they showed the Turtles, and I was like, what is this? And it was like, Go Ninja Go will be in the next movie. And I was like, God damn. I said, can we not? I was like, I don't want to see this shit.
I didn't see it. And I'm
Totally forgot about it.
I'm all right with it. Good for you.
Totally forgot.
I admire that ability of yours.
It's
to get spoiled on something, and then you just like erase it from your brain.
It's a gift and a gift.
I like it. I wish I had.
It's not a curse because everybody understands where I'm at in life. And it's a gift because I have a built-in excuse for almost everything. So I love it, honestly. Sometimes I hate it, but even when I hate it, I love it. I just forget I hate it.
I was gonna say you forget about it, and then it's great.
Yeah. But no, I heard it. At first, I didn't even hear it, and then I was like, "This is great." Yes. I was like, "This is good, though." I thought it was gonna be in the movie, and I was like,
he was gonna be performing.
I did.
That would be hilarious.
And I was happy it wasn't that.
Yes,
but it was good.
Yes.
So that was my next like.
Nice.
So I'll let you
go. Okay. Real fast one. Eastman High.
I didn't see that.
That was the high school they were at.
Oh, nice.
And Laird. There was a big neon sign that said Laird.
Oh, nice.
So I thought that was a nice little nod to the original creators, which a lot of the movies throw in.
They really do.
And I think it's great.
I'll tell you what, though. The Turtles,
respect.
And I think in all the cartoons, or not the cartoons, all the movies, Eastman or Laird is in each one of them. Maybe not everyone, but
because I think Eastman was in one of the Michael Bay ones.
Yeah, I can't remember us saying his name. I think it was the last one we watched, Out of Shadows, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, because he's definitely I know we talked about it, but he's the one that does more of like.
Yeah, I think you said that.
I'll be in it. I will, consult. I'll do this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he was in this too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's great that they do that because also, why not?
Yeah, it's the Stan Lee cameo
Yes.
of the Turtles. It's not always visual or a voice, but sometimes they just name drop them where they put their, a nod in there, which I think is great.
That's fair. Okay. I have 2 likes, but I'm putting them together.
Okay.
Splinter being a father
Mm-hmm.
and the training montage.
Yes.
Those 2 were just, first off, his like, they got caught coming back late from their going to go get food, and he goes, Splinter goes, do you know why I hate humans? He's like, yeah, we know. I'm going to tell you. No, we know. I'm going to tell you the long version. I was like, this is hilarious. I was like, this is great, though. I love it. He was like, I was a young rat, top of the world. Nope. I was at the bottom of the world. It was terrible.
Yep.
I was eating out of the trash. Master Splinter was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Master Splinter was hilarious.
He was.
Jackie Chan be damned, but
Yeah, I was gonna say you can cancel me for it, but in his movies, I enjoy Jackie Chan.
he's hilarious.
Yeah,
He was funny.
yeah.
In this movie, whatever. But he was cracking me the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I was at the top of the world. No, I was at the bottom. It was terrible. But no, it was honestly super. It was adorable. Like, let me tell you what. Also, I was thinking this too when you were talking about the plot. Every Turtles movie, almost every Turtles movie, they do the origin of the Turtles. And I don't ever get tired of it.
Yeah.
Unlike somebody origin,
Yep.
theirs take place in a sewer. This other person's taking place in a back alley. And one of them is actually probably funny and super cute. And the other one's kind of not.
This is depressing.
Kind of funny, but not cute.
Yeah.
No matter how many pearls you put on it,
Ugh.
no matter how many pearls you put behind the gun, in front of the gun, after the gun, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I know they were in that cartoon together, so that's why I brought it up.
Yes, they were.
Topical.
Yes,
maybe.
they were.
Topical.
But I agree. Master Splinter, especially the part, like, you really get the sense of, like, the family aspect of it. Because in the first movies, obviously, you get the flashback of him, like, raising them, or him finding them, and then, like, them going from being regular turtles to, like, being the talking versions of them, and then they skip right to present day.
Yeah.
In the Michael Bay one, I think you got a little bit more in between.
Yeah.
Like, you got the in-betweeny part of, like, them wanting to be part of like, humanity and everything. And then in this one, they did more of that. They were, like, infants. You saw him, like, putting them to bed.
Yeah.
And he had his little dad perm and his mustache. And
So boss.
and he took them up to the surface, and everybody wanted to fucking kill him. And he took them back, and he, like, put them all to bed, and they all got in bed with him, and he was training them, and they were watching kung fu movies.
Hilarious.
And he was showing them, like, they showed them getting their weapons and using them, and him demonstrating everything. Yeah, I agree. They really did a good job of showing, like, and just, like, their home life, like, their family aspect and the home life of him. You're like, where you guys going? Come back. And they come home, and he throws them a fucking party with all the Hollywood Chris's in attendance, which was hilarious.
It was hilarious. They didn't mention the one Chris, which was great.
They didn't mention
Evans.
They didn't mention Evans either, which is fine. But Pine got all of it. He's like, I'm the best Chris. Look at my eyebrows. Like, this is funny. Mel, you said Master Splinter was hilarious.
He was so funny.
Yeah,
He was hilarious.
he was good.
He was like,
Leo,
"It's the best Chris."
Leo, you
I was
ratted us. He was like, I'm the best. I was like, that's great. He's like, Leo, you ratted us out. Don't use that word that way. Because it's a
so
slur
funny.
to him. I thought that was hilarious. That's
What else am I supposed to say?
Sorry if he's a bad guy, but in his movies, Jackie Chan's funny as shit,
Yeah.
and there's no getting around it. Sorry.
That's it. Yeah.
Let's
I mean, to be
face the
fair,
facts.
I've only watched like 5, maybe 6 Jackie Chan movies. So it's not like I'm invested into him personally.
Yeah, I mean, because I've seen like the Rush Hours. That's 3 right there.
That's 3.
This is 4. Shanghai Noon. That's 5.
Never seen it.
Shanghai Nights. That's 6.
I've
seen a couple of his old ones, so let's say 3 there. The Foreigner with him and Pierce Brosnan. Okay, so I've seen probably like 10 Jackie Chan movies.
I said 6. I'm going 4.
I like
the
his
4th one.
I like his movies. Sorry, I like his movies.
This is the
Sorry
4th
about
one.
it. I don't have to like the man, but I like his movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, me next or you next? Going off what I said about Stan Lee for my next like, Avengers movies are in existence in this. Hilarious. Yeah. He's like the Hulk in Endgame. It's like, I'm like Mark Ruffalo, man. Like, he does a lot of improvising. I can do that.
You can do that. It's like, he improvised that whole scene, right?
Hilarious.
And he had catchphrases.
I thought that was great. Just like that,
Loved
and
it.
just like pop culture in general.
Yeah.
Like the music stuff, which the soundtrack of this movie was great.
It was awesome.
Them dropping like movies and references and everything. I just like, it really gave you the idea of like, hey, this takes place in the world that we also inhabit, because it's just like they mention things that you and I have seen, you and I have talked about, and I think it's nice when that happens. I like it
because it makes you feel like a part of it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah. It's like, oh, when the Hawk did it, I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, he's a big rage monster, but he's also nice because he saved them. And I'm like, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Because a couple years earlier, he killed a lot of people.
Yes.
And they were like, well, you also saved a lot of people.
Yep.
The trolley problem. How many people you kill? How many people you save? Hey, well. Exactly. Killed 100, brought back trillions.
Yeah, like $1 billion. So yeah.
You're welcome.
Every square, call it even.
Let's agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Hawk out.
Dab.
I love that one.
Listen to your parents.
Take a picture. Look at him. They want to take me. He's shaking.
He doesn't. He doesn't want it.
He's
Take the
literally-
goddamn phone. Take the goddamn
literally
phone.
shaking. His
He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. You don't want it. You don't know who I am. It's fine. You don't know me.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
What?
You're the other guy, the small guy.
The other bug.
$12.
The other bug. 12. Oh my God. $12. Did you? Okay. Quick sidebar.
Yeah.
That book, the Watch Out for the Little Guy book.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a real thing? I saw a listing for it on Amazon. It's coming out later this year. You can actually buy the book.
Really?
Yes, apparently.
With Paul Rudd's face
Yes.
and everything?
Yes. It says Scott Lang, look out for the little guy.
That's
it's like
hilarious.
it's going to be a real book.
I love it.
I kind of want to read it just
You
because
know, people hate that movie?
people hate a
I
lot.
had no idea.
A lot of stupid people hate a lot of movies, Keith.
I was like, I thought the movie was great.
Same. I still think I liked it when it came out. I liked it when it hit Disney Plus, and I watched it again. Megan liked it.
Same.
You liked it. I liked it. That's like 5 people right there.
That's enough. My sister liked it. We watched it when she was over here a couple, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
I thought it was great.
People were like, it was terrible. But I was like, terrible?
What?
I understand people
What
not liking
movie?
Love and Thunder.
I can see it.
I see
still
it.
liked it.
I like most of it.
Yeah.
But remember, I told you when I watched it again, I was like, okay, the first part was kind of boring, but the second part, great.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, this is good. And I didn't know that the goats were part of the comics. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Somebody pointed that out.
I don't know I don't think they scream in the comics new shit, but yeah, like they pull.
Yeah.
There's like Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher, I think, are their names. They
Yeah.
like pull chariots or something.
And so apparently people were pissed off about that because somebody, one of the people I follow, were like, yeah, you guys are pissed off about the goats. And they're like, oh, this doesn't make any sense when it's actually real. And I was like,
Don't you love it when they get them like that?
yeah,
The
honestly.
people that are like, it's not comic book accurate, and like, well,
It is.
first off, there's a million comics,
Yeah,
so
also,
there's it could be a panel, and all of a sudden that's canon, that's comic book canon. But they were definitely a thing because they even fucking mention them in like the old Marvel Ultimate Alliance games and old shit like that. So like they've been around.
And another thing too, because he finally, the dude Birdman, he finally did a video for Love and Thunder finally, and I watched it, and that's who was talking about it. He was like, it's so funny when people are like, they're mad about something, but then they don't read the comics, and then they don't think the comics matter, but then also they say they didn't like this because it didn't seem like it would be in the comics, but then they don't know that it was in the comics.
That's why people didn't like She-Hulk.
Yeah, and they're like, but the problem is that it was in the comics. Yeah. And he was like, well, one thing Marvel's been doing that I really do appreciate is that he was like, they've strayed away from the comics, which to me, for him, he said,
yeah,
he was like, to me, I don't necessarily like all the time. He was like, but they've been getting some panels exactly correct. Mm-hmm. He was like, that one god that got killed, the frost monster god, mm-hmm. It was like a big dinosaur in that movie. Mm-hmm. When he found the one
when
girl.
He found Sif?
Yeah, Sif. That was comic accurate. It was him. The only thing that wasn't, the panel wasn't accurate was Korg. Korg was the only person that was in that whole shot that was not on the panel. He even counted the scales on the thing back. He said they got that exactly correct. He was like, so when you guys are talking about this, he was like, that shit doesn't, you guys are dumb. He was like, they get it right. They know what they're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. He was like, you don't like comedy, but this is what it is. He was like, you don't like comedy in this, but it's the same amount of comedy beats as it was in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, this is what I don't get. I'm like, bro, he was like, you got to think about it. You guys, the reason why we got Love and Thunder is because you guys love Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It was like, when this is what happens in business. Hey, oh, you like this? Yeah, we're gonna give you more.
Yeah, they're like, you didn't really love the first two Thors, so we're gonna change up the third one. You really like the third one? We're gonna make the fourth one very similar to the third one. There's like a slight shift. I would say it's like a slight shift in comedy from like to like a more romantic comedy situation.
Yeah.
But it's still a comedy. It was still funny for one.
Yeah, it was funny.
But why wouldn't you expect more of what people clamored over? People are like, Thor 3 is the best movie. Best one in the trilogy for sure, and possibly the best one in the MCU. I'm like, okay, so they're just gonna one-off it. Yeah, they're gonna decide next one, very, very serious. We're going back to Dark World.
Super serious.
Yeah, we're gonna make it super serious. It's gonna be a psychological thriller. It's like why would you go backwards?
Yeah, exactly.
And why would you expect them to go backwards?
And that's exactly what he said. He was like, why? He was like, it's exactly what he said. And I've been saying the same thing. He's like, why wouldn't they give you more Ragnarok?
Yeah.
He was like, that's what you guys loved. And he was like, for people saying it was over the top, Ragnarok was too, comparatively to everything else.
Yeah, compared to the Thor movies that came before it.
100%.
Yeah.
Compared to all the Captain America movies. He was like, compared to all that, Ragnarok and Love and Thunder were same comedy.
Yeah.
Like, same exact. And I was like, thank you.
Because I can understand people being like, oh, well, just because I like the same food doesn't mean I'm going to eat the same thing every day. Well, first off, some people do that.
Some people do.
Also,
I do.
It's a movie. You don't have to watch it every single fucking day. Right. You can watch it when you feel like watching it. No one's forcing you to watch these movies on repeat forever. And if you get tired of it, just don't watch it.
He's been very critical of Marvel, and I know he has, and he loves Marvel, but he's a comic book person, so he wants it to be like comic accurate, whatever. Like, he's like, I love Spider-Man. And everybody loves Toby. He's like, I didn't like it. He was like, why? Because he doesn't. He's like, the webs. He was like, terrible. He was like, but everybody loves Toby. Why? He was like, so that's what, he's like, that's why I can't take you guys serious.
They love it because it was the first one.
Yeah. He was like, I can't take you guys serious. He's like, you want everything to be comic accurate, but he's like, right there, immediately eliminates him from being the best Spider-Man. And I was like, I like your point of view, sir, because you know how much I hate Toby.
Yeah, because honestly, like that to me isn't what broke it, but just the fact that you can do better.
Yeah, 100%.
And we did with Andrew.
100%, and that's what he said.
And Tom Holland.
100%. And he was like, I'm very critical. He was like, but he put out like a 30-minute video probably about 2 months ago, where it was called "Defending the MCU," because so many people were like, we hate where it's going, blah, blah, blah. He was like, the MCU isn't perfect, but I have to defend it.
Yeah, like I'm a fanboy.
100%.
Clearly, I can't say it's perfect.
Yeah.
But I will say I have, like, 98% of things they put out, enjoy it.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He was like, I am...
Sorry about it, but I enjoyed it.
He was like, I love Marvel for what it is. I hope it keeps going. He's like, I am very, very critical of Marvel. He's like, I'm not giving everything an A. That's not how it works. He's like, there's a lot of things that they have a lot of missteps on, that they retcon, that they should or shouldn't have, whatever. He was like, I have a lot of complaints. I love it, and they're the best people doing it. He was like,
Yeah.
but the criticism that you guys are lobbing at them right now is unwarranted, and let me tell you why. And it's a 45 minute video, and I loved it. Then he had to do another one like 2 weeks later. I think it was Secret Invasion, because people were pissed off. They were like, why do I have to watch this show just to understand this movie or whatever? And he was like, it's been interconnected for the past 15 years. What are you complaining about?
And like saying, why do you have to watch this to watch the Marvels or
Something. Yeah, whatever. I forgot what people are complaining
because
about.
honestly, I don't even, from what I've seen of the Marvels, like I've only seen the first trailer, I haven't seen the second one. It doesn't seem to be that connected.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it
aside
was
from
the
like,
Marvels.
aside from like Nick Fury being in it,
Right.
and him just being in that show and everything else.
I think it was. I forgot what it was, but basically he was like, people are saying like, why do I have to watch movies to understand the shows, or why do I have to watch the shows to understand the movies? He was like, why are you complaining about this now when that's been the whole thing since the beginning?
Yeah.
He was like, they've been doing this for a long time. You had to watch this movie to understand that movie, this movie to understand that movie. He was like, so your complaints don't make sense. You're just trying to find something to complain about.
Like if you feel like it's an overwhelming amount of stuff to watch, then that's fine. You
Then
can always
stop.
you can always stop.
And that's exactly what he said.
You can always find like just a breakdown video. You can, if you don't plan to watch it and you just want to watch like a summary of something, I'm sure people make those.
Yeah. Oh, they do.
Yeah, so you could just watch that. If you want to skip the shows
could.
instead of just bitching about it, you can just watch like a fucking comp video
Or like you said, you can stop.
or just stop.
Because why
just,
keep investing?
Or just stick to the movies if you just want to watch the movies and you can be lost. You go like, who's that? Well, you should watch the show.
Same. I don't remember what we were talking about.
It's,
From the Turtles.
I think it was because I said I liked that they mentioned Endgame in it, and then we just went off
Oh,
about
yeah, we
people.
did.
But I think that was my like. So what's
I agree with you because I wrote Endgame too. So my like.
Yes.
Do you want to get to April?
Sure.
Because that's one of my next likes.
Let's do it.
So I wrote April. We got to talk about it. Exactly what I wrote. Couple things. Didn't know April was going to be black at first. Didn't care. Cool.
Not the first time she's been black.
It's a cartoon. I don't care.
Also.
It doesn't bother me. And I think it's way more appropriate that she's in high school and a teenager in New York than some regular white woman who's a news reporter messing around with these teenagers. Like, I don't know. I think it's more appropriate, and I love it. And also, finding out, somebody said this on Twitter. I think I shared it. Somebody's Laird's wife or Eastman's wife. That's who April was based on.
Yeah, in the old comics.
And she's mixed.
Yeah.
She's like a light-skinned black woman.
Yeah, because on the cover of the old comics, like she had like permed hair. She had like natural hair in a lot of the depictions. It wasn't like the redheaded white lady in the yellow jumpsuit from the 80s cartoon.
Yeah. And so I was like...
Baxter Stockman was also black in a lot of depictions. He wasn't like the little weird Albert Einstein looking dude from the 80s cartoon.
All right. So I was like, okay. And then they're like, yeah, but we can't sell it. So... And that's how it always is.
Yeah.
That's how it always was. Hashtag mutants, hashtag comic books in general, hashtag everything from the 50s to the now.
Yeah.
That's how it always been. And I understand. I'm not mad about it. But also at the same time, like, I get it. But the fact that they go back now have a problem with it.
People get mad when they do try to do something.
That's a problem for me.
Yeah. Because in the Rise of the Ninja Turtles series, April was black. And I don't remember... To be honest, I don't remember a lot of talk about that series aside from people being mad that Raph was the leader and they didn't have their usual weapons. But when this movie came out, or first was announced, they definitely had a lot to say about April being black. Because people were like, first off, there are people like, oh, first off, I don't like that she's black. Or people are like, I don't care that she's black. I just don't think she looks cute or something. And I'm like, why do you have to find her? What depicts cute? What defines that? Like across the board, because you can't. And also, why do you need to be finding a teenage cartoon character cute?
Thank you, Chris.
Because it can be cute in the sense of like the turtles are cute because they don't look like the fucking Michael Bay ones. Let's say you find that cute. Doesn't mean you want to bang them. But if you're like, oh, well, April doesn't look cute enough. As compared to what? Compared to Megan Fox? A real human being compared to like a cartoon character? Like
some people don't think Megan Fox is hot.
Yeah.
Because she's super skinny.
She is.
What am I do with that? Break her?
Make a soup. Add some broth. Add some broth and potato. Baby, you got a soup going. Baby, you got a stew going. Yeah,
like, that's a bag of bones.
That's it.
It's like Scary Movie. Cindy, why are you running from a bag of bones?
Calista Flockhart chasing you.
Yeah. So okay. It's funny because I like that you know these things because I didn't know these.
Yeah, because I saw that shit on Twitter.
Not even that. I'm talking about knowing that people had these comments about April, right? I knew they didn't like her because she's black. I was like, okay, got it. This is the way life is. Yesterday, I was reading comments on Facebook, and I was like, about this movie.
Gold mine.
Oh, man, let me tell you. And it was like...
The salt of the earth.
You guys don't know that April was depicted for a black woman or whatever. I think it was Facebook. It might have been Twitter. But whatever. But they were like, oh, based on a black woman. And they're like, so? Like, I saw a comment that was like, it doesn't matter, though, because all my life she's been this. And I'm like, but it doesn't matter. So I was like, okay, cool. That's one. Second one, the second thing I saw was, somebody actually said, it's like, I don't care that she's black. Why do they have to make her ugly? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
First off, you're a racist. Because even though you say I don't care that she's black, you just assume she's ugly? I literally went into this movie like, if I had to judge her attractiveness, this woman isn't ugly. Also, the woman voicing her isn't ugly.
Yeah.
She's of age. But this is a cute girl. Yeah. Like, I didn't think... But I was like... And then somebody was like, I don't care that she's black. Why they have to make her fat? And I was like, oh my God.
That's the other one.
I was like, guys.
I saw people saying that they didn't like she was black. They didn't like she was fat. They didn't like that she was... They thought she wasn't cute. And people offering their alternative designs where she was still black, but she was skinny and light-skinned, more light-skinned. Didn't have freckles.
Oh my God!
And people were like, "This is just better to me. This is better." And it was on Twitter, and it was people being like, "Better for you because this is what you consider your standard of beauty." Also, pretty sure you're a white person making this artwork, and this is what you think like a black woman should look like, or this is what you think a woman should look like. I think the artist was female that was making the art, so like. This is your standard of beauty, this is your whatever. At least it wasn't a man.
Still racist.
At least it wasn't a man. But yes, still insensitive, still racist, because people are like, well, you can be black, but you have to be so black. Like they're like she's too black.
No fair.
Yeah, like she's too black. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How?
No, I agree. Yeah. It's crazy how ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Because these are fictional characters.
It's a cartoon.
You know that, right?
About teenagers.
It's important to me that you know that.
Please tell me you know this.
Yeah.
I can't let you leave without you acknowledging that you know this.
Yeah. I don't even have the time to tell you how wrong you are. It's just going to bother me if I don't.
Bother me. And so, so then I did see somebody say, I don't care if she's black, but she should be lighter. Because then I don't know if it was the same post, but literally yesterday I saw somebody say, it could have been not about turtles, but it was somebody like, they're trying to wash out or trying to get rid of light-skinned black people out of media. And I was like, no, they're not. First off, have you seen? And literally, somebody was like, Fresh Prince. They started naming shows. Then it was like, let's go to the new shows. This. I was like, yeah, what are you talking about? I was like, what are you talking about? You're way off. What are you saying? Like, literally, there's a movie called Passing with the chick Valkyrie in it.
Oh, Tessa Thompson?
Yeah. And it's about how back in the day, if you could pass for a white woman, then, or a white man, then you were able to actually be free in the, Jim Crow South. It literally is called Passing. Like, Tessa Thompson is very light. In that movie, they lighten her up a little bit more. But she literally was able to date a white man. He knew she was black. He found out she was black, whatever, and still was with her. But she was able to pass for a white woman. And her sister, because they were young and then they grew up and kind of got apart. But then her sister, who wasn't as light but was still kind of light, she couldn't pass though. So when they got together, they had to be like, "Oh, this is mine. She's our like servant or whatever." And so like it was a whole thing. And she was like, "Wait, what are you doing? Like, no, let's go this way." She was like, I got a life here, and it's like, yeah, but you're acting like a white woman. You're not white. And it's like, yeah, but I gotta, whatever. And I was just like, that's how it was. Like, yeah, there's a thing called I think it's called a paper bag test. If you're darker than a paper bag,
oh dear,
yeah, like literally, if you're darker than a paper bag, you're too dark. That means you're too dark. Yeah, like literally, people don't understand how racism works, but it's like when you start actually talking about it, it's the reason why it's like, hey, you guys should learn this in school. And they're like, no, we don't want to learn any of this because it makes white people feel bad. Maybe they should.
White people, we should feel bad.
Yeah, because if you learn it, then you won't repeat it. But they keep repeating it.
Ideally.
They won't if they listen. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is, I swear to God, if people just learn and listen what actually happened, people will be like, okay, maybe I honestly truly believe if people just like listen and be like, all right, maybe I was fucked up. Unless they're psychopaths. That's it. And you can't save people like that, and that's fine. If people want to kill, people want to kill. I can't stop that. But there are people in the world who are racist who I think if they were just like, this happened. Like that paper bag test, like you literally was like, what? Yeah. I think people would be like, yo, really? Yes.
I would hope so.
I think there's a lot of people out there be like, okay, maybe this is too far. Yeah. You think? You think? That, whatever. So anyway, I really wanted to talk about April because I was like, what? I don't understand. I'll tell you what. I'm an idiot. I don't understand why I get so surprised about racism, but every single time I'll be like, yo. It surprises me every single time. I'm stupid because
it's just one of those things where they're like, oh, why did they have to make her black? It doesn't matter. If it doesn't matter, then why does it matter that she's not white? It doesn't.
It's like, you ever seen Remember Titans?
No.
Cool.
Fuck you.
So it's a football movie.
I was going to say, that's a sports movie.
I'm about to say,
that's not my scene.
As soon as I said it, I was like,
You hadn't seen it.
I was like, no, he's fine. And then you're like, no. I'm like, it makes sense.
Like,
that's why I said cool. Because I was like
this white devil hasn't seen that movie.
Chris, you can't overcome racism if you haven't seen Remember the Titans.
Well,
it takes them a while.
Diversity tomorrow, because today is almost over.
That's fair. No, in the scene, Turk's in that movie. And,
Donald Faison?
Yeah.
Nice.
And there's this guy named Sunshine. Sunshine, white dude, comes in from California. And there's literally a split in the locker room between the white players and the black players, and the black players just came to the school. They just got integrated. So, like, literally, the locker room split. Sunshine is from California. So, his family moved to the South, so he just wants to play quarterback. Like, he's like a hippie. He has long hair, like, whatever. He's wearing, like, you know, he doesn't look like a Southerner. So, he's hanging out with the black dudes. And all the white people are like, yo, you can't do that. He's like, I don't really care. Like, I'm just here for football because where I'm from, everybody's equal. Which isn't really true, but, you know, that's how they say it.
In the South? Wow.
In California. He's from California.
Oh, Southern California.
No, he's from California, but then they went to the South.
Oh, okay.
He moved to the South. South. The actual South. I forgot where they were at in that movie. Alabama, maybe? I don't know. It was wild. But anyway, so he went to the South, and so he moved there, whatever, and they were like, why are you hanging out with the black people? And he's like, oh, I don't, whatever. So anyway, so while he's hanging out with the black people, they started talking about something else. And he's like, hey, man, Turk was like, hey, I heard, I heard you were gay. And he's like, what? He's like, it don't matter. I just want to know. He's like, if it don't matter, why you want to know?
Why do you have to know?
Turk's like, it don't matter. But I just want to know. He's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, I just want to know. I just want to know. And like Turk got all pissed off because what happened was something happened, and then the Sunshine ended up kissing him. Like he kissed him as like because he was pissing him off, and he kissed him
like a Bugs Bunny kiss.
Yeah, he just kissed him. He's like, why'd you kiss him? He's like, and then like the captain of the team. I'm trying to think of a movie he was in that you know. I don't remember. But anyway, he comes over. He's like, hey, shot fired. So what's up? He's like, he kissed me. He's like, what?
What?
And so, yeah. So anyway, it was just funny because he was like, yeah, if it doesn't matter, why do you want to know?
Then why does it matter if it doesn't matter?
If it doesn't matter, why does it matter? If it matters, why does it matter? Like, you know what I mean? Like, So, which led me into my next, like, it's the same, like, I did like April in this movie.
Same.
I thought she was great. I thought she was, again, not a damsel in distress. She literally, everything that had to be done, she did. She got over her fear. She went to Channel 6, which was great. They did the whole Channel 6 thing. That was awesome. Because isn't that where she worked, Channel 6?
Yep.
So they did that. That was a great little Easter egg. I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but it was great. But then the one part, and the reason why I was like, oh, we definitely got to talk about this. It's like, yeah, if you hadn't saved me, I would have definitely probably been scared and terrified. It's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe there's more people like you. She's like, no.
No, there isn't.
And I was like, 100%. Like, that's exactly... And I'm going to just say this as a black person, I'd be thinking the same way. I'm like, yeah, Chris is my friend. I'm black, Chris is white. And it's like, oh, yeah, there's probably more. No. Nope, probably not. Well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, that's how it is because it's like, yeah, no. You can't be, because that's how hopeful, in my opinion, people who don't know anything about race, that's how hopeful they are. Oh, we can live in a post-racial society. How? You tell me how. It's like, well, if we stop talking about it, well, that's not the way.
Yeah, that's not how you solve problems.
That's not it. Let's just ignore it. Okay. Yeah, sure. It's like I was telling somebody, not to get into too many political stuff, but fuck it. But I was telling somebody on Facebook about drain pool politics. I'm like, it's basically what it is. The definition of it is, it's a political stance or a policy change that happens because somebody wants to stop black people or minorities from doing it, but it affects everybody negatively. Drain pool politics. Apparently, back years ago, decades ago, there used to be Olympic-sized swimming pools in almost every big city, just for everybody to swim. But when black people started wanting to go, they drained them all. Drain pool politics. They drained them all, and then that became the rise of people having swimming pools in their backyard, which also led to black people not knowing how to swim, which is where the stereotype comes from. So it's like, so it's because at the time black people, white people could afford it, black people couldn't. So guess what? Black people didn't know how to swim because there's no swimming pools around. Like, my parents knew how to swim. I don't know how to swim, but like, there was a pool to go to. When I was younger, all the pools around the city closed. The only ones that were open, Savannah, Ottawa Hills. Even now, they're like, oh, because of COVID, we only open 2. They don't open the ones in Toledo. They open the ones outside of Toledo. Why don't you open the ones where everybody's at? We know why. So that's the reason. So it's like drain pool politics. And I was trying to tell somebody that. I'm like, oh, it's the same reason why they started charging for school too, universities. It's the same reason. They were like, oh, well, we can't let them in, so because we don't want them to be smart. So let's make them pay for it because they can afford it, which we're cool with that. They can't, and so that's why they started paying for it.
And look what they fucking did to everybody.
Same, and it affects everybody negatively, right? So. Because wouldn't it be great to have an Olympic-sized swimming pool in the city? That would be amazing, right? But no. Now, when's the last time you've been in a pool? I don't know. I haven't been in a pool.
Not recent.
At all. So with that being said, I tried to tell this dude that. Well, I put it on Facebook, and the guy was like, because I was telling him about. I mentioned college and that, and he goes, "Well, first off, they accepted people in college." Black people in college back in 1822, and I'm like, I was like, you keep telling me about the time they accepted this one black person in college in the 1800s. You keep telling me about this. I was like, because I was like, oh yeah, they didn't accept black people, blah blah. And he was like, no, they did. This one. And I'm like, you keep telling me about this one. He was like, well, I'm telling you that they weren't really racist because they accepted the black person. I'm like, you keep telling me about this one. You haven't told me about the conditions that this person stayed in the college. You didn't tell me how this person was treated while he was in college. You didn't tell me if he graduated. You just told me that they got accepted. You didn't tell me what their policy was about accepting black people. And you also didn't tell me when's the next time they accepted. Because every single one of those colleges, the next time they accepted a black person was like the 60s. From 1822 to the 1960s, not 1860s. And then he stopped commenting. But anywho.
Got him.
Are there any more like you? Probably not. No. Not even probably. She said, no. And I thought I laughed because she was like, no.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm off my soapbox. We can go.
No, I agree. April was great. She was smart. She was capable. The puke scene was hilarious.
Both times.
The remixed memes version of it was fucking hilarious.
Zombie one.
The like her showing them around the school, and they're like, oh, they got anime club, they got this, like they've got improv club, cool. Oh man, puke girl, who's that? I wouldn't want to be them. She's like, yeah, you wouldn't want to be them. That's me. And I was like, yeah, that's.
I knew it was her.
Of course. It's hilarious because, and it's also like fucked up because she's trying to show them everything like, oh, this is why, you want to go here. Why would you want to go to school? It's like, because it's great. And she's like, yeah, but you don't actually go to schools because it's kind of
not great at all.
Yeah. But like she was videotaping everything they were doing. Hilarious. She had the fucking anti-mutagen gun at the end of the movie. Great.
She stole their bike.
Yeah, because she stole their motorcycle. Got an upgrade from that little scooter. She was great.
Because she had a flat.
Yep. Yeah.
I did like her. Then she actually like introduced herself to Master Splinter and kind of was like, "Hey,
I'm a friend of your son's.
I'm one of the good ones. You can take that any way you want, but yes."
Yeah, it's like I'm a friend of your son's. I'm like, go on.
Fair. Keep going.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right,
your turn.
All right. Next thing I wrote, Donnie likes anime, which I thought was hilarious. He's like, I haven't met any of these people. He's like, Attack on Titan. Anime, I don't know these people, and they get me more than anyone else. And I thought that was hilarious. It played into the end of the movie, even though I thought they were going to do the thing for the movie where they like fucking swing around and like on their wires thing, but they didn't do that. And he had a hoodie on, that purple hoodie with the pink and purple lettering. Yeah. That is the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure logo. Oh. Like blurred a little bit or like smudged a little bit so it's not like 100 like right there. I thought it was great. I did see that beforehand. I saw something about it saying like one of the characters, like JoJo reference in the movie is like, well, I got to look at this. If it spoils me, but I got to look at this because these are two things I like crossing over. And it was literally Donnie wearing the hoodie, and I was like, that's great. It didn't like blow any plot lines for me, and I just thought it was cool. I liked it.
I remember when it came up, you were like, oh, and I was like, it's just a hoodie. Yeah. Like, that was how I felt. Yeah. I was like, it's a nice hoodie.
And it was on the board, too. It was like Anime Club. There's like the Anime Club. There's like the LGBTQI plus club. There was the improv thing. That, yeah. There was a bunch of stuff, but he was like, Anime Club, this is going to be great. Yeah. And I was like, go on, Donnie.
I didn't put it,
one
but
of them should like anime.
That same scene. What's her last name? That was hilarious.
Yeah, and I thought about it, and I was like, in other ones, they have said that they have a last name. But in this one, it's not the Splinter's like a Japanese descendant or like a Japanese person who got mutated into a rat, or we're reincarnated forms of older Japanese people. So the other ones, it was Hamato Yoshi is Splinter's full name. So like their last name was Hamato. So that's like in other ones that was their last name.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
But in this one, yeah, they were like, well, we don't have those. It's like Leo, Michelangelo, like an Italian guy.
Which is
Michelangelo. He's so perfect. And I was like, I'm getting Mario movie flashbacks, which is hilarious. And he's like, yeah, I could be Leonardo. Yeah, Nardo. And he's like, what? No, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy.
Leonardo?
How about Leonardo? That's a better name. I think we can all agree that's a better name.
I love the fact that April was like, Leonardo. She started clowning him. Yes. She was like, well, I don't want to be puke girl. Yeah, and I was like,
all right, well. Hilarious.
It's like, Duke can play this game.
Yeah. I liked it. I liked that Donnie likes anime because I like anime and I like Donnie.
That's fair. Good times.
Yes.
I wrote this especially for you, Chris.
Ooh.
Riz. They were saying a lot of words where I was like, I don't know if Chris understands what they're talking about.
I know what Riz means. I know what Riz means. It's how the youths of today refer to charisma.
Oh, Christ. Yes,
I know what Riz means.
Hilarious.
They said it a couple times, too.
They did.
Leo said it a couple times. He's like, I don't get Riz. It's like, now who doesn't have Riz? And I was like, they're using this word a lot.
They said Riz. They said sus. I know what it means.
Yes, they said sus. I know what sus means.
They didn't say based.
They didn't bet. They didn't say bet. They didn't say based. What was the other one that we would use that we didn't know? So that went with based. I forget. But yeah, I know what Riz means.
I loved it.
I know what stuff means.
I loved it. Yeah. But yeah, I wrote Riz question mark for you because I was like,
thank you. Thank you. For us honkies out there, Riz means charisma. Yeah.
So what's your opening line? Go ahead, tell us.
It's got no Riz. I have Riz. What are you talking
about? Oh, that's it.
Back to me?
Yep.
All right. The He-Man chase I thought was hilarious. So, the car chase. Mm-hmm. The Four Non-Blondes song, the What's Going On.
Okay.
The first time it plays is like the normal version of it.
Okay.
Then when the car chase happens, I think the radio gets kicked or something, it starts the weird version of it. It's from like this old YouTube video of He-Man, like the old 80s cartoon He-Man singing it. And that's what he sounds like in it.
Oh, okay.
And it's just this like goofy, cartoony version of that song. And I thought it was hilarious that they use that for a car chase. And like everyone's getting their asses beat. Like Ice Cube was punching the shit out of them. He's like, use my own stick against me, and now he's mollywopping me. And that was. But I wrote the whole scene was great. But he was like, he's mollywopping me, or he was just beating the shit out of all these kids.
He really was
in the van, which was awesome.
Yes.
And everyone was like trying to talk him out of it. Like, if Superfly's coming, he's gonna be a little more direct about things.
He's not gonna be
very happy about this. I was like, what do you mean? And he just, what was the line? 6 a.m.
Oh, police at my door. I'm
like,
pretty sure that's from one of his songs.
Yeah,
I'm almost certain.
I feel like it is, because I don't know much about like hip hop music and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure, like, I reckon that was in a trailer, and I was like, I think that is a line from one of his songs. And I thought that was hilarious because he just says it walking into the van and then proceeds to beat the shit out of all these children. But I like that song was playing while like they're monster trucking it over parked cars, and cars are getting flipped, and they're all like flapping out the back of this fucking van trying to pull them back down, and they get in a car wreck. I thought the whole thing was great.
Well, and the funny thing was, they saw the cars. Who was driving? Donatello?
When he took over driving, it was Mondo Gecko was driving.
Yeah, I mean the Turtles.
Oh yeah, Donnie was the driver.
Yeah. So when he tried to like crash into the monster truck and send them over to the cars, I'm like, what'd you think was gonna happen? It's a monster truck.
Yeah. It's like half the size of that van they were in. Yeah.
I was like, honestly, so here's what I thought was gonna happen. I was like, oh, they're gonna just take that pizza truck and turn it into a whatever, and then he ripped the top off that bitch. I was like, I was wrong.
But they often are in a van.
Yeah,
which I enjoy. You know,
it was a pizza van, and I was like, oh, they're gonna just use that. If I didn't even think about a single, but I was like, oh, that's just gonna be their truck. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, that's awesome. He ripped that bitch open like a can and was like, come here. I was like, well, they're not using that one.
Nope.
That won't be in Rush Hour 3. I'll tell you that one. Yeah. Good times.
Yes.
All right, my turn.
Yes.
2 things. Bacon, egg, and cheese. And even though we talked about it, that whole scene.
That was hilarious.
It was like a 15-second scene. It was
just like kids being kids.
Literally.
You're like, this is not going to make them like you. And they all stop for a second. Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese. And Leo's doing the robot.
He's like, I just want the bacon, egg, and cheese. Oh, bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Got my Timbs.
Hey, bacon, egg, and cheese. Got my Timbs on. Got my bacon, egg, and cheese.
You're hilarious. That shit was goofy, and I loved it.
She's like, this isn't going to help. You're bacon, egg, and cheese. Like, why was he doing the robot?
It was silly.
It made me so upset but so happy at the same time.
That shit was funny.
Because I would do that. I would do that now. 30 something. I don't know.
That shit was funny.
7.
That shit was funny.
But yeah, that's my like.
Okay. My next one. Master Splinter Jackie Chan fights like 15 dudes.
He really does.
He fought like Jackie Chan would in his movies. There
100%.
was random shit getting picked up and thrown at people. He spun around on a fucking office chair and like hit the lever and like punch dropped somebody under him. He was like hit the lever again and it popped the wheels out and hit some dude. He used all their weapons. Every time he finished everybody in the room, like 4 more dudes came in. He's like, oh my god, this is like, ugh.
Right, and he got up like he was hurt, like Jackie Chan always does.
He got knocked down. I was like, oh, and he like got up. It's like, oh, okay. And then more dudes come and say, oh, and then he beats the shit out of more of them with no problem.
He's not even hurt.
I thought it was great. And the milking machine, which I'm gonna throw it in there for the same scene. It's like, what is that? What is that machine? Is that the milking machine? And it like showed the label. It's like Milk Master, like Mega Milker or something. 2000. He's like, that's why I told you. You come out, you leave, you get kidnapped, you get milked, you give the machine to destroy humanity. This is why we don't go up top. I was like, this is fucking hilarious. And also, he's kind of right. And also, he's kind of wrong. But it was so hilarious because it's Jackie Chan saying it. And it was great. And it was just like Jackie Chan fighting everybody in a movie. In like Rush Hour, in any of his other movies where he is just like jumping around, kicking the shit out of people in a comical fashion, running away at the same time. Like he beats the shit out of people, is ready to go. More people show up and he just like runs away. And then
because he's like, I don't want to fight you.
Yeah, I don't want any trouble. And then he mops the floor with you. and then that closet or wherever it was fell on him, and then all their weapons are inside of it, and he fucking gets
That
out
was
wielding
great.
all of their weapons, used all of them.
At first, I was like, wait, where did the swords come from? I'm like, oh, they must have been in that closet.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And he just beat the shit out of everybody with their weapons. It's like, this is why he's the master. Yeah,
Same.
I liked it.
I agree. It was good.
Yeah.
All right, my last 2 likes when putting together again.
Okay.
Superfly.
Agree.
Loved him.
Yes.
I thought he was so sweet, and Ice Cube was great.
Yes.
And I was like, he's good. Didn't know that Superfly was gonna be like Black Dynamite. I didn't know that, but he was. He stepped out of like a Cadillac, like strutting.
Which was awesome.
I
Yeah.
was like, wait, what? What? I was like, oh, this is the real Superfly. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Hey, yo. Yeah, he was great.
I was like, okay. Then I put Superfly singing lyrics. Like, that was his whole thing. It's 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. at
6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. Cops at my door. And I was just like, pretty sure that's his lyrics. And then he said another one right after that when he was the whale. And I was like, what is this? I was like, this is great.
When they tackled him up against the machine, he's like, they smile into your face.
Yeah.
All the time they want to take your place. And I heard you say, you're like, backstabbers. And I was almost like, backstabbers. That was awesome.
That's when I wrote it.
Because everyone in his gang like turned on him. And he's like, it's backstabbers. Like, but he didn't say the word, but he said the lead up to it.
Part.
Yeah.
I was like, he was like, they smile. I love that song. There's like 2 songs that sound they're very similar. It's Backstabbers, and the other one is called shit. I don't even remember, but they're similar to talk about whatever friends going behind your back or whatever. They sound very similar, but that one specifically is my favorite because it's backstab. It's like they smile in your face. When he said it, I was like, nah.
Yeah, that was so
and then
good.
he finished it, and I was like,
all the time they want to take your place.
And I had to say it because you gotta finish it.
Yeah.
Finish it.
That was great. I really enjoyed him.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Just honestly, like you said, the soundtrack was great. All the music in the movie was great. Every time they were talking about music, great. What were they singing? Not Take Me Away, Take Me Home.
They were singing They were trying to sing some BTS song for Donnie.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys don't even know the
No,
words.
the other mutants. They were singing not Take On Me. What were they singing?
Oh.
Damn it. I can't.
Oh, they were singing that Four Non Blonde song. They were singing that What's Going On song when they were in the van.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. And
How'd
then
that song go?
don't make me sing it, Keith.
Okay. What's the lyrics? Tell me.
Like when I wake in the morning and I step outside,
Oh, yes.
I take a deep breath and I get real high. Yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't know what that song was called.
Yeah.
I don't be knowing.
What's going on?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're all singing that, and then they
Gotcha.
just hit the brakes and put like 3 people through the fucking windshield of the
Which was
van.
great.
Which is hilarious. Because then he said in slow motion, like, "What's going
Yeah.
on?"
Yes, that's what it was. I was like,
Yeah.
first off, Bondo was hilarious.
Paul Rudd was great.
I didn't write that, but Paul,
Yeah,
I didn't know it was Paul Rudd.
Like, you drive. He's like, "Are you good to drive?" No.
no.
He's like, "Oh man, no." And then he did it anyway.
This movie,
Yeah.
irresponsible.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, that was good times though.
Yeah. I liked all the mutants.
Yeah.
Because I liked it because they were all characters that I've seen before in various versions of the Turtles, whether it was the old 80s cartoon or the comics. We saw, I think Superfly was probably seen already at some point. I just remember in the old 80s show it was Baxter Stockman that turned into a fly and they didn't call him Superfly.
Oh, you did tell me that before.
In the current comics, he mutates flies and like makes them cyborgs and call them flyborgs but he doesn't turn into a fly, at least not yet. in one version, Baxter Stockman's like a fucking cyborg because he gets blown to shit up and he is like mangled and he turns himself into a robot. But like Baxter Stockman was in it for a second, but then you got Superfly. We got Leatherhead, who is different from any other version of Leatherhead that we've seen, at least like personality wise, because in other ones they're usually like a Cajun or like a tormented, like I'm a monster but I'm intelligent but I might also be mind controlled monster. Rocksteady and Bebop were idiots.
Hilarious.
And they were idiots, but they weren't like, hey, we're with him because we're bad guys. They were just like, we thought we were doing the right thing.
Like Zangief.
Yeah. And they weren't getting paid either.
Wait, you're getting paid?
Wingnut was there. Mondo Gecko, Genghis Frog. There's like originally 4 frogs in the old cartoon, and that was just one of them. Scumbug, Ray Fillet, fucking singing was hilarious. Like the mutants were cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
And it lived up to the title, the Mutant Mayhem. I was like, there's a lot of There's a lot of mutants because they often, and they're gonna do it again in the next one, like Shredder. They usually focus on Shredder, and that's fine because Shredder's a big deal. But they fight other people. They fight other things.
Honestly, didn't miss him.
Yeah.
And him showing up at the end, which I don't know if that's gonna be a like. I didn't write it down, but it is a like. Didn't even know that was gonna happen.
Same.
And I was like, oh shit,
yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I was expecting the scene to go a different way.
What did you expect?
Well, if I can hopefully not spoil anything for you.
Wait, is it? Do you know this, or is this like a?
No, this is a like Turtles lore thing.
Let me say something real quick before you go into that.
Okay.
I've been going back listening to our old episodes. I'm on Days of Future Past.
Uh-oh.
You know a lot, Chris. You know a ton
about very select subjects.
You keep saying this, but the subjects that we are talking about, though.
Yeah, that's why we keep doing these. That's why I wanted to watch these movies so I can
not Turtles. I mean,
show my abilities.
That's fair. That's fair.
I can prove my value.
It's like Magneto. Give me around metal. I can show you what I can do.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm not great.
Otherwise, I'm playing chess in a plastic room.
You put some turtles around. I can tell you some stuff.
No, not just turtles. Comic book period. I was listening to some stuff and I'm like, like early on stuff, and I'm like, that happened. That happened also. Okay, that happened this year. Okay, I'm gonna have to tell Chris to stop talking about this stuff because he's ruining movies for me. I was like,
well, then maybe I won't say it. Then.
No, don't say it because I'm gonna forget.
Okay,
because I forgot all that. It's just that now that I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, he did say that. Because what was it? Was it the cancer thing about Jane, which I didn't know about? But like, it wasn't a spoiler. But you were like, yeah, this happened, and then there was something else that when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, whoa. It wasn't Kang. What came out recently? There was something else though, and I was like, oh. I was like, we gotta stop.
You gotta stop this guy.
But no, I was like, but here's the thing, I forgot about it.
There you go.
Like I said, just now listening to it.
Skill.
It's the same. My terrible memory, probably CTE, probably from football. So, but no, tell me.
Okay.
So what'd you think?
In Ninja Turtles, or in this movie, Maya Rudolph's character Cynthia Utrom was like kind of pulling some strings behind the scenes. Like she was the first one to go after Stockman for the mutagen, and she was after them for their mutagen, and they never showed what she was going to use it for. She had some, she didn't get enough. Okay, the end credit scene was her being like, we're gonna have to call the Shredder. That's not what I expected, because I think it's the old comics, the 2003 show, and I want to say maybe another one, the Utrom are the alien race that is Krang. Like Krang is an Utrom.
I thought it was gonna be Krang too.
Yeah, like that's the alien race. Like it's in some of the things they call them the Krang. Like the 2012 series thing, they call them the Krang, and it's just like they just all call themselves Krang. But I think it's the old comics in the 03 show. The Utrom are the little like pink brain looking aliens. So I think she is, well, and they all like kind of piloted like a Krang body suit, where like they were a little alien in the tummy. And it was like a humanoid suit. I think like she might be an alien, because in the old comics, TCRI, in the old movies, they went TGRI, Techno Global Research Industries. In the comics and the 2012 show, it's Techno Cosmic, and this one it was Techno Cosmic Research. It's run by the Utrom. It's run by aliens. and they like get teleported off world, and then they do whole things based on it. But I think that she is an alien, and I thought it was going to be a reveal of like of her as that, and then like possibly Krang revealing himself. And instead they're like, let's call him the Shredder, and I was like, let's do it.
Even better.
Let's do it either way. Because
I thought it was gonna be Krang too, just because. Honestly, because we watch Out of the Shadows. I didn't remember Out of the Shadows. I don't think I saw all of it. I think I only saw the trailer. I didn't know Krang was in it until we watched it, and I was like, oh shit, I like Krang. I've always liked Krang. He's an idiot, but he's funny.
Yeah.
And when she was like, well, and I was like, but then they showed the Shredder, I was like, I forgot about this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Because with everything going on, there was so much happening in the movie. Like you said, didn't miss him.
Didn't miss him.
Didn't need him because he wasn't, because it didn't revolve around him.
Honestly, I'm happy that we watched the other Turtles too, because again, I didn't remember Baxter Stockman. Rocksteady Bebop, like all the other stuff you tell me about the Fly thing too, like all that stuff really mattered, and I was like, oh, okay, so now I'm understanding a little bit more, because again, I don't know all the lore, so I don't know that, but I was like, okay, so now that I know and I'm kind of like invested in that, I didn't miss Shredder.
Yeah.
And also Shredder was terrible in Out of Shadows, and I didn't like him, so
it was kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I was just reading my notes, I was like, well, hated him. He was fucking Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat, no mask ever. I was like, bro,
fucking helmet on.
Have we tried helmet on, glasses off? Helmet on, hair up?
Did you try up on?
So much light. How's there more light?
There's still light coming in from under the door.
That was part of it. That was part of it. Anyway, so I don't know what we were talking about. I don't know if it was my like or your like. But I am out of likes.
Say that was my last one.
I am out of likes.
Okay. Dislikes.
Hit
me.
0.
Okay.
What do you got?
I wrote shut up because I don't have any.
Talking to that baby.
Yep. Shut up, baby.
Shut up, baby.
Everyone hated that baby.
Yeah, no dislikes.
No. This movie was great.
I agree.
And not to say that I was skeptical at all, because I had no reason to be. But I saw in the slew of advertising that I saw for this movie, in the media rush of advertising, I saw that this movie had far and away the highest rating of like I think it's like what is like Rotten Tomatoes or Cinema Blend or whoever, like the audience ratings of Turtles movies. The closest other one was the first one, and it was not even half as much. This one I think they said was like in the 80s to 90s, and the first one they said was like 40 some percent. And I was like, and because honestly, I would put this one up with the first two for like best Turtles movies, because 3 doesn't exist.
Of course not.
TMNT, fine, serviceable movie.
Yeah, it's okay.
First Michael Bay, Second Michael Bay, better. This one, how did they go right? Like, how did they get it so good? Like, and just
smoking weed, baby.
Right? Yeah, Seth Rogen, whatever he's smoking, he's
pottery,
got that
weed.
Yeah, just
making ashtrays,
just keeping to himself, making ashtrays, growing, selling weed, making
writing
movies,
Turtles movies,
writing Ninja Turtles movies.
That's it.
Cameoing in CGI movies, doing his own voice, which he didn't do the laugh in this movie, which I thought was fine. I didn't miss it.
But I didn't know he was Bebop at first, and then at one point I was like, "Wait, that is him."
Yeah.
When he first spoke, I didn't know that was
because he
him.
kind of did like a little different of a voice.
A little bit.
It wasn't just him like,
yeah,
Rocksteady, what's going on? It was like a little different.
It was different,
and he didn't do the laugh.
But then the second time, I was like,
as he talked more, I was like, "Yep, that's him."
And then I was like, "Oh, I'm waiting for the laugh," and then he didn't do the laugh.
And it never happened. And I was like. He probably knows that some people apparently don't like it.
I
love it every time, and I kind of love it that people don't like it. I think it's hilarious.
I want to watch Mario now. I was about to say it's DK.
Yep,
because that just made me think of DK.
Look at that dancing pecs. Knocks his ass down. Hilarious.
When he's little.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to watch that this weekend.
Oh yeah, you guys definitely should.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great movie.
But yeah, I thought it was great.
Well, with that being said, Slushie meter.
Easy peasy.
We can do it at the same time if you want.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. 5. 100%.
Yeah, easy.
As soon as I left the theater, I was like, "Oh, this is a 5."
Start to finish, this movie was great.
It was the funniest movie,
and it's like, I don't mean to parrot it, but that's like exactly what I saw a lot of the reviews saying, like from the start to finish, like people just saying, either critics or like just people getting retweeted by the people who were in and made the movie, like, this movie was great. This movie was great.
Great movie.
And honestly, like, it's, if I can be bold, I might like it more than I like the original one. Honestly,
I was gonna say this is the best Turtles movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think I might, because the first one's great, but this one's like great.
First one's great. Second one's good. Second one's great. Yeah, I love the second one.
Like, I will put it up there with the first two. Yeah. It might be the best one.
This has got to be.
And it's getting a sequel,
which I didn't even know that was happening.
And a series, apparently.
Did you know the sequel was happening?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
2 days ago, I think I saw that they were like, it's like, good thing everybody loves this movie because it's already getting greenlit for a sequel and a series on Paramount or something, I think.
Wow.
And I was like, good. I'll watch them both.
Hopefully with the same people. The series probably won't have the same people, but
I don't know what the series is going to be, but it could be the same, and I'll watch it anyway. More of this. More bacon, egg, and cheese. More your whatever you got. I'll take it, because this movie was hilarious.
We gotta. I forgot to mention fucking Leonardo. I forgot to mention his whole loves, because usually it's Michael who loves April. Leonardo loves April.
Yeah.
And he's like, we got to follow this beautiful human. Mm-hmm. We have to follow a beautiful human. Like, he kept saying, and I was just like, this is great.
Yeah, he was never like, we got to follow this conventionally, this like interesting woman. We have to follow this interesting looking woman and get her scooter back.
He was like, no, she's so beautiful. We gotta listen to the beautiful woman.
In the Michael Bays, it was Michelangelo who had a crush on her. In the 2012 series, Donatello's in love with April. And in this one, it's Leonardo. I think the only one who hasn't had like a love crush on April has been Raphael. Yeah. And he's too busy being angry and or sarcastic to be, or Scott Hall, to like,
I was trying to do Rocky, but yeah, saying
it's the same difference.
Kind of.
Scott Hall to get hit in the head a couple times.
They're both playing an Italian. They're both not Italian. I don't know. I don't know if Sylvester Stallone's Italian.
I have no idea.
I assume he's not.
But I think Razor Ramon, was supposed to be like Cuban or something.
I honestly thought, yes.
I think he was supposed to be like Cuban or Latin.
Hey, let me tell you something. Like, there's a lot of people I'm like, oh,
it was a different time.
For sure, they got a little mixed in them, a little bit. They don't. No. They just be white.
We started watching this show called What We Do in the Shadows. It's dumb as hell.
Is that vampires. The thing on Hulu?
It's on FX. It's about vampires. It's hilarious. But it's got Nate from The Office as one of the people in it.
Nate.
The warehouse guy. Have you guys noticed gums have been getting mintier lately? Him. He's hilarious in it. But there's a scene where like they do a 23andMe thing to find out everybody's ancestry, and they give him his, and he's like, mine just says you are 100% white. And there's like, and the guy takes his papers like, that can't be right. Oh, that's actually what it says. And he gives it right back to it. He's like, it's not that. For
Nate, I believe.
Yeah, he's like, that cannot be what it says. And it literally, it's like one line. He's like, it's more than that. That's exactly what it says.
The funny thing is, to be hilarious, it's funny to me because somebody said the only way that can ever happen, incest. And I was like, what? They're like, yeah. Like, if you are 100% of one thing, is because of incest. And I was like, nah, that can't be right. They're like, no, seriously. It's like, because there's been so much mixing of cultures in years past, years going forward, whatever. Yeah. It's so the only way that you can have that is so, like, the Amish, probably 100%. The British family, 100%. Blah blah. Like they were being serious. They were like, no, these are the people. If you find somebody and they say they're 100% like Nordic or whatever, it's because they kept it in the family. Mm-hmm. And I was like, ugh,
yep,
that's disgusting.
Okay. Megan showed me a TikTok last night, and it was someone being like, they told me you can't have children with your cousin. Well, surprise, I did. And it's like this white lady, and she shows her babies, that the babies look fine. And then I think it was more like the ones where you swipe, and it's like you see more panels. And it was like, well, were like, yeah, well, they're all healthy. And it was the kids grown up, and one of them was in like one of those standing walker wheelchair things.
Well,
And like the lady who was doing it was like standing in front of like the screen of it, and then just like moved out. I was like, yep, they're all healthy. And then moved, and it showed the kid, and I was like, this is fucked up. I was like, I'm not laughing at the kid. Because not the kid's
not their
fault.
fault.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not laughing at the kid. It's not the kid's fault. I'm laughing at the parents who thought that was never going to happen.
listen,
I was like, that's fucked up.
wild,
Yes.
wild.
It's the wild thornberries. This shit is wild.
Let me tell you. Yeah.
What is that? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I only know that people in New York do it,
I'm gonna have to Google it.
People
I'm
from
gonna
the
be
Bronx.
I'm gonna do Google slang.
and
That never works out.
it probably doesn't. But
Greetings, fellow youths. It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be Steve Buscemi.
Yep. You gotta carry a skateboard.
Yep. Backwards hat,
the only-
skateboard over the shoulder, like how you carry them.
All right, I used to follow these two guys, Jesus and Mero. They used to have a TV show, and they used to always be like, "Grr," every day, because they're from the Bronx, and that's what they used to do. BX all day. Grr, that's what they used to say, and I used to love it. It used to be great, but that's what New York people do. That's what we do.
Okay. The real New York City slang. You're with an E, or you're with a U. Hello, or yo, or how are you, or a.
There it is. That's what I'm saying. It's like
But according to Wiktionary, it means you lot, as in like
all of you.
instead of saying y'all,
Yeah,
you're like you're, I guess.
that sounds stupid.
According to Urban Dictionary, a special homie call in which one homie yells to get the other homie's attention. The other homie's response will always be "your" in an aggressive manner.
Same.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's how it used to be. Every time they would come out to because they used to do a podcast and it was a
That's
TV
funny.
show. So their TV show, it was Jesus and Mero. They would come out and they'd be like, "Hey, BX all day," and they would do this. They'd be like, "BX all day, you're," and then literally the crowd would be like, "You're," like so. It was kind of like a hello. So
A call and response.
that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That's funny.
I hate looking up Urban Dictionary, which I don't ever, to be fair, because I'm like, Urban Dictionary, it's like, oh, okay, the people who are hip are writing the responses or the meanings. But every time I read them, it sounds like somebody who isn't hip is writing the response. A homie saying to another homie,
Yeah.
I'm out.
It's a homie call.
As soon
It's
as
like,
I heard that, I was
okay.
like, no,
Yeah.
somebody's white uncle wrote this.
Right.
I don't want to know it anymore.
Hey, what up, homies?
A homie call.
Yeah.
First off,
What up, Snoopy?
Unfortunately-
I was trying to use slang. It didn't work out.
latest on the minjay.
Hey, Ellis, Elbones, drinking coffee. What is that? Yeah, you don't know? It's from 40 years ago. It's from 40 years ago.
Either way, fives all around.
Easy.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Spoiler alert.
Good job, Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
you
man,
get
for him.
my seal of approval on
So
any.
I thought he directed or produced it. He wrote the screenplay.
Yeah.
Which is good for him, but I didn't know what his role was. So, good for him, though.
Yeah. Good on me. Honestly, good by me. Good job.
Listen, I love the fact that now, like, the people that we like are turning into the people who are directing and writing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it's interesting because, like, that's how it was back. That's how it was. Like, the directors or producers that we see now, especially like the older ones, were prominent actors back in the day. And you didn't know that because back in the day we weren't alive. You
Yeah,
know,
because as long as I've been alive, Spielberg was only a director.
right,
Scorsese was only a director.
right. So
Yeah.
And so it's always like,
Not that I like his movies or
I'm about to say, or what's his name? The redhead kid.
Ron Howard?
Ron Howard.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know who the fuck Opie is. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, I never watched the Andy Griffith
Yeah, I
show,
would
but I
never
love me
watch
some
it.
Arrested Development.
Yeah. So, same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so So was that real? The Andy Griffith thing on Arrested Development, or was that just a joke?
What do you mean?
When they brought the cabin, that was fake, right? When they were like, we just want to be clear, we weren't trying to make fun of Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Was that real? Or
I don't know.
I don't
thought it
either.
was
Now that I'm
hilarious,
just thinking
though.
about it. Oh shit, that's funny.
Yeah, because like for like 10,000, he'll sit at the table and read the newspaper. For 50,000, he'll lean over and whisper something in your ear. So just to be clear, we would not ever make fun of Andy Griffith.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't know if that was real or not.
I don't know. I just think it's hilarious.
So, or like, I mean, Ronald Reagan was an actor. You know what I mean? Donald Trump was an actor.
Mm-hmm. Still is. He's acting innocent. Ayo! Bump it. Ooh.
That was good. That was good, Chris. That was good. I like that. I'm still that.
I'm good for one every now and then.
That's what she said. I'm still in that.
Damn it. Keith stole my joke.
Yeah, right. Told you I was still in it.
Because I wrote it. Yeah. I came up with that bit.
Okay, I guess we should go. It's been a couple hours.
All right.
Do the things, guys. All right. This has been Keith.
And this has been Chris.
And we're out of here.
You're...
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
By Tim's on.